Welcome back to Midday Live. We are joined now by Janine Washley. You saw her probably just a few minutes ago as we reopened the show. The Flavor Queen, and she is here to make Timothy's white chili.
Yes.
Okay, and well, first of all, welcome. We're so excited when you come each time.
I'm so happy to be here, and I can't wait to tell you the backstory on this recipe.
Okay.
This was back in the 90s, before social media, before, we had the Food Channel, the Food Network, all of that stuff.
Yep.
And there was a restaurant in downtown Louisville, and it was called Timothy's. And the owner wanted to get in on the Southwest craze that was happening in recipes, and that was in the 90s. That's when Southwest cuisine was invented, and everyone was trying to, just get on that bandwagon. But again, it's not social media. The vehicle where this was all happening were the magazines, Food and Wine, Gourmet, Bon Appetit.
Yeah.
Those were the magazines that were really driving that. So the owner of Timothy's, he was like, I want to get in on this. I think I'm going to try a chili. And so he went to the kitchen, and this is what he came up with. So this is the recipe.
Okay.
So we're going to add 2 cans of white beans. These are northern white beans.
And you've got some sauteed onions going there.
I've already got some sauteed onions, and they've been sauteing for about 7 minutes. They're translucent, but not really taking on any color.
Okay.
And then we've added those. These are hatch chilies. They're green chilies, but they're more flavorful. They're flavorful and they're warm. So a warm heat. No. And they just smell so good. Then, if you'll help me with the spices, we're going to get some salt and pepper that I've already measured out there, and that's about a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and then that's 4 cloves of garlic. But I always like to say, use the granulated garlic so you taste it with the recipe, not the next day. So if you want to use fresh, you can, but that's okay.
Are you ready for the rest of these?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is Mexican oregano. And then the next one is
Mexican oregano.
Yes, it's a little more pungent, and that is cumin. So, just basic spices that we're all familiar with, in our chilies. And this is an odd one. This is cloves. So this is before smoked paprika. So the owner went with cloves because it adds like a smoky depth of flavor. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
That is. And what is this vinegar?
Well, no, that is sherry. Yes, we're ready.
Ooh.
And
do
that
we want
was
to put that in there? Or
yes.
Sip. No.
Well, it was a white cloth, or it was a white tablecloth type of restaurant, a kind of fancy bougie restaurant. So all classic soups have sherry in it. So I thought that was kind of cute. That's like a little culinary, anthropology there. Why would he do that? Well, it's a fancy, so it's a bougie ingredient.
Kind of a throwback to the creator of this.
And then I had already prepared the chicken because we want the chicken, since it's the star, it's white chicken chili. I wanted it to stay juicy, so I cooked it first, and then you just fold that in, come in with that chicken stock right there.
Oh, chicken stock. Yep.
And then it cooks for 30 minutes after we add all of the chicken stock to it. The cheese comes in at about the 10 minutes before it's done mark. And and then the cheese adds like a creaminess to it because we don't have any cream in it. Oh yeah, that's perfect right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that all just kind of marries together. And if you say, well, goodness gracious, I think it's a little bit thin, here's a great hack. And this hack works for any chili. You can add corn chips.
Okay.
And it will thicken it up within about 5 minutes.
Okay, it acts as a thickener.
Yes.
And just in chilies or other dishes?
Well, now in other soups, here's what you use. Buy some instant mashed potato flakes, and you can thicken up anything, even mashed potatoes that are too thin.
Yes, I've done that.
Oh yeah. So instant mashed potatoes for any of your other soups, corn chips for your chilies.
You have the greatest ideas because I never thought of that beyond, just using them to thicken up potatoes that you've got too thin.
No.
Okay.
So then we end up with this. It's beautiful. It's got chunks of chunks of chicken in there. Everything has married together, and it smells wonderful. So I can't wait for you to try it.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so this is a pretty darn easy recipe, like many of them that you bring in.
Yes, under an hour.
Okay, yeah. See, I like that, and you could double it to make it bigger, and so you can serve up a bunch of people. Okay, so what do you serve this with? Cornbread or more chips?
You could use a Southwestern cornbread. Those recipes, that Tex-Mex cornbread that has the cream corn and the chilies in it. That would be great. But personally, I would make some quesadillas, just some cheese quesadillas, cut them up and serve those. I think it would be fun. Just carry that Southwest theme all the way through your meal.
That sounds delicious. Well, when we come back, we're going to try this out. But first, we got to get to Raquel Dominguez right after the break with your full forecast and some entertainment news. So stay with us.
All right, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, and it's what better time of year than to have something warm and just filling here in your belly, and I can't wait to get into it.
Yes. So the Flavor Queen is with us, and she has cooked up some. Tell us again what you made.
This is Timothy's white chicken chili.
All right. And what better way to celebrate National Soup Month than with a little bit of white chicken chili? So we're going to, is it okay we just dig in?
Oh, it sure is.
All right.
You'll see that it's a little bit on the soupy side, but you know, we know the trick for changing that around. You know, add some corn chips. And Raquel, there's yours.
Thank you.
So there's a little bit of warmth. And not too much, you know, so it's pleasant to eat all the way through it. And that's coming from those chilies, those Hatch chilies. And it's just mild and light, but it's warming, you know, and really we haven't put any fat in it at all.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, it's very minimal.
And
very
minimal. I love the cilantro. I would have never thought to put that in it.
Yeah, just that little fresh burst.
And I'm going to wait till we're
tasty
finished up
stuff.
to finish this because it's going to get ugly. I'm not going to eat this like a lady.
That's so funny.
And I will be shoveling in some more as well because this is delicious. And you know, it's the kind of meal where you're not going to be overly stuffed and just feel gross. You're just gonna, it's just gonna be a nice, you know.
It's pleasant.
Yeah, you're gonna be just right.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so how can we find you? We wanna.
Okay, please go to Facebook and look for the Flavor Queen's Kitchen, and I'm going to keep you posted on the Valentine's dinner. That's a reservation-only dinner on February 10th. It's awesome.
All right. And you can find this on our website as well, WBKO.com.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on Midday Live. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at 11.